We've often spoken here on the show about just how daft people are, particularly when it's other people's livelihoods that really hinder on whether what you say, what you do, particularly in public, really can impact on their lives. I know I've said this before, but I'm always stunned at how stupid people in this position are. The latest victim, and I have to say this, is a very strange person when you think about it, because he's been in the business a long time. He bills himself as a writer and comedian. Now, of course, he started out in the 1980s trying to bill himself as one of those controversial alternative comedians. Some people might say it was an alternative to comedy. Who am I to judge? Then, of course, he really hit home by teaming up with the likes of Andrew Lloyd Webber for a musical, and more importantly and very successfully, the Queen musical We Will Rock You, which has recently just reopened at the very vast Coliseum Theatre, 3,000 seats to fill, 8 times a week. No mean feat, even though, of course, the band remain incredibly popular. It recently had its press night to great acclaim. Lots of A-listers came out and they were, well, absolutely delighted to see that both members of Queen were on stage, Roger Taylor and the brilliant Brian May. But then the creator, co-writer Ben Elton decided to appear this weekend on a BBC political programme. It's a prime-time one every Sunday morning. He was allowed by the BBC to witter on for over 4 minutes, all about how much he dislikes the British government and indeed the current British Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Rishi Sunak. You get the picture. And what really was strange about this was that Ben spends most of his time living in Australia. So quite how it affects him remains to be seen. There you go, they let him witter on for a long time. Now, as I said at the beginning of this video, it's not truly about him. It's about all of the people that now could face a loss of job. You see, everybody from the ice cream seller to the box office person to the stagehand, the spotlight man, the curtain puller, everybody behind the scene relies on people wanting to wish We Will Rock You well. And whenever you go political, and Ben Elton is known for being political, as a multi-millionaire, it doesn't affect him, then you see he can say what he likes. But we checked in with the box office to see how well We Will Rock You was going. Now, has it had an adverse effect? Not quite sure yet. What we can tell you is there are still plenty of top price seats, and the top price seats are eye-watering, let me tell you. You would have to have a lot of money to afford 2 of those, particularly in this current climate. That's the only thing that will be rocking you when you have to open your wallet. So has Mr. Ben Elton done his own musical, which has reopened, as I said, less than 2 weeks ago, a terrible injustice? It remains to be seen whether this will make a huge dent, or indeed will people now be turning away after being fed his political views, which, if you look at the current climate, 50% would say they didn't want to know about. But as ever, it never affects those, does it? They're multimillionaires. As ever, I'd love to know what you think to this particular story in the comments below. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.